Either way, let's go ahead and get on into game number 5, I believe, of the day. We have Got Filth on the Sylvanas, J-Shifts will be on the Dahaka, Lutano on this Cassia, Weary Day will be on the Deckard, and Free PX on the May. For the right-hand side, we have our red team. Lupus will be on the Uther, Flyest Raven will be on that Malthael, Falstead to be played by Unaverted. We have Legacy on Stukov and Cure on the Tracer. Let's get into mid lane and check out our level 1s as we Wild Heart farms points. Yeah. So now here's the difficult thing. There's a Wild Heart player on both sides. Who do you vote for? Caster bias, I'd go with the Falstad team because it looks like me. But there's also Decker Kane, which looks like me. So I have no idea. I actually really do, going into this, I actually really do like the global pressure, the push pressure, the team fight coming out of our blue team. The overall sustained damage and just scariness of the red side is very apparent, but there's a lot of tools on the blue side to deal with some of that scariness. There's blinds from May and Cassia that mitigate Tracer, Malthael, Falstad damage, as Falstad did go actually into the Dishonorably Discharge, right? Dishonorable Discharge, which is going to be off that W build, so we'll probably be seeing a lot of Falstad kind of trying sitting on top of enemy heroes, and I think it's also why we're seeing Free PX maybe hiding in the bush, just trying not to give that opportunity to Unaverted to start building out those stacks, as Unaverted's looking to just get the wave. We'll barrel roll out of here, not going to be getting caught by Got Filth, but actually moving into top lane. I wonder if Lupus will try and pull the Dahaka out. No, Unaverted just steps in and just starts to throw some damage out onto the structure. First objective is going to be in the bottom portion of the map, so getting the Siege Giants, oh no, sorry, my brain flipped. Getting this Bruiser camp out first, this is absolutely fine. You could get this Bruiser camp after getting the Siege Giant camp, so that way you have mid lane pressure during a bottom lane objective phase, because if you go for these Siege Giants now, they can be cleared out during the objective phase, since the enemy team can just kind of rotate out, clear it, and then still be inside this objective phase. And I think that's why we're also seeing the quick rush from Flyest Raven. It's a little early. No, actually, it's not early at all. This is some decent timing, because it is a very long lane that these Siege Giants have to walk through. And really here, we should, oh, J-Shifts is just eating a sandwich up in top lane. But we should be seeing someone split off on the blue side to that Siege Giant camp for the top lane. A lot of damage goes out onto Free PX, and First Blood will be confirmed by our red team. A lot of good slows, a lot of just good sustained damage, as I was noting beforehand, between Cure, and I mean, sustained control, I guess you could say, from Lupus as well with the Hammer of Justice, because we are going to be seeing that Pursuit of Justice at level 4 for them, and we aren't going to be having the cooldown reduction at level 1 for the town, I believe. Yeah. But we do have a Silver Touch. Tano's just going to get a lot of damage thrown onto them. Slows as well from Legacy. Well played so far in this mid lane engagement, as the objective phase is going to be up in just a second here. We do have these Siege Giants down to bottom lane. And this is what I was talking about. They can be cleared out even before the objective phase. Free PX might actually find a kill into Flyest Raven. Got Filth through the Haunting Wave forward, not only to deal damage, but if Malthael was able to get towards this gate, they could blink forward and Got Filth would still confirm the kill. So really good play coming out from our Sylvanas player here, as first objective is up and available. May is trying to just pressure onto these Siege Giants. Legacy also trying to soak up through bottom lane, but threaten a little bit of Free PX right there. Falstad Dahaka still in top lane. Now Falstad doesn't have like a true global per se, like it doesn't go across the entire map. We can actually see right here, you can see on the minimap, right now Falstad, where they're sitting, they could fly into mid lane where the Malthael and the Sylvanas are, where that Tracer just now comes up, as I actually want to see if Tracer can find the kill onto Got Filth. You're just going to be able to throw a bunch of aggressive damage into Got Filth, maybe forcing the well tap, not the case. But the one thing I want to note with just between J-Shifts and Unaverted will have to rotate further down the lane, or further down the map, to be able to fly to this objective, whereas Dahaka can brush stock into a bush down in this bottom, or they could look for a flank brush stock. This is typically where you'd expect the Dahakas to be coming from, depending obviously on the team fight and positioning, but getting onto that backline, getting onto Legacy could be a great way of peeling this healer off of the friendly team, so that way you can maybe get a potential kill with your Sylvanas or even your Cassia. But right now, we're just waiting to see how this engagement works out. Actually, we have Sylvanas and J-Shifts chasing onto Unaverted top lane. And keep in mind also, Dahaka is NASCAR Dahaka, which means that they have the enhanced agility at level 1. So you basically, when Dahaka taps a bush or walks through a bush, their movement speed goes to 120%. Mount speed in this game is 130%, so once you finish this, you move that 140% after walking through a bush on Dahaka, which means you have really good chase potential. And just looking at the talents as well, this is the Hero Stalker as well, so really good ability to gain essence in the 1v1. Symbiosis was grabbed at level 7, so not going to be going for the cooldown reduction with the Feeding Frenzy. I was kind of expecting to see that, but every time Dark Swarm damages an enemy hero, reduces its cooldown by 0.4 seconds, which is synergistic with the Hero Stalker. So just great tandem, or great talent pickups coming out from Dahaka, as well as the synergistic value. First objective still is being delayed out, by the way, so I'm going to go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers. This is a first objective that has lasted probably 2 minutes longer than it should have. Usually the first objective is not that long. Like it's maybe contested 30 to 45 seconds, but we're looking at 2 minutes 45 seconds for this first objective still being delayed out by Lupus, and we have these globals and we have like Maltheo rotating around the map, still pulling in experience. It's 1-to-1 in kills, and these teams are keeping the experience neck and neck. You can actually see right here between both sides 24,000 to 23,600. So we're looking at what, like 400 less of a deficit. Lupus stepping up once again, will be able to interrupt FreePX, who just moves to the far side of this objective phase. J-Shifts and Unaverted still 1v1ing in a sense in this top lane. We have a fight breaking out now in bottom lane. Icewall coming out from the Mei. Lutano will live with a sliver of health. Cure tries to blink in to find any sort of last little bit of damage from Lutano. I bet Cure was sitting there just mashing their Q, or might have actually had the shifted ability, so that like once they come out the ice wall, they just burn every one of those blinks into the front gate of this fort. Sylvanas rotating down into this objective phase. We're still going on this first one. I feel like didn't we have a CCL day like this once? Like, wasn't there an objective phase that lasted till like level 13 or something crazy during CCL? Either way, our globals are getting value through the top and mid. Falstead trying to rotate around as best they can. 19 stacks on that level 1 questing talent for Falstead, so very quickly working their way through that questing talent. There was a cleanse, I believe, onto Legacy. Sylvanas does go down. Ball Lightning will bounce from player to player as the Divine Storm comes out from the Uther. FreePX goes down to the last hit from Falstead, but a lot of the damage came out from that Maltheo last rites. Tongue Drag will connect onto the Stukov, and it's a 2-for-2. Still 3v3 over the subjective, which has pretty much been the entire 4 minutes that we've had this for now or so. Cure gonna get dove by Lutano. Weary Day looking for the channel, gets interrupted by Cure, doesn't get hit with the Pulse Bomb. Lupus finds the stun with the Hammer of Justice. Weary Day gets their own potion as Uther ends up going down. Some Ghost Heals will be available for Cure, and Cure finds the kill into Uther. So now it's 2v2. We have everyone back from death working their way towards this objective, and it's still going. We have almost a 5-minute objective here on this Cursed Hollow game, and this is the first objective of the game. FreePX tries to slide into Cure, who gets the recall just in time, and now FreePX has to use the Cryo Freeze as Unaverted's getting a few extra stacks, 24% being built up on that Lightning Rod bonus damage. Isolation from J-Shifts doesn't connect, but is this too much of an aggressive step forward? Essence is used. Dahaka gonna be able to burrow away, but the Gust is gonna interrupt that J-Shifts. Are you gonna be able to get away? Enhanced Agility is bolstering the speed, but Tracer is sticky. So sticky, that'll be another kill. And Legacy going for the channel will be interrupted again. Meanwhile, we have rotations continuing around the map. 13 talent here has already arrived for the right-hand side. Our blue team is just about to get their 13 talent here as well for this first objective phase that has just been stalled out. Falstead flies in through the top lane, applying that Lightning Rod, and you can see the chunking into Got Filth from that Lightning Rod damage. Lupus is going to be, nope, it's actually going to be Legacy with the setup onto the root. Lupus, I think, was looking for the Hammer of Justice. J-Shifts gets knocked away with the massive shove. Lupus steps in once again, gets the interrupt as Falstead comes in as well. Tongue Drag from the Dahaka will be cleansed, and J-Shifts now being chased by Cure. Lupus is just rotating around looking for and waiting for the enemy team to go for the channel. And I wonder, like, No, okay. So it's not one of those. It's not like a game to like one team and the other team's just trying to grab the objective. It's legitimately just been stalled out constantly between both sides. Sylvanas has been pushing a little bit here and there, getting these waves into this fort, and it's slowly but surely helping and actually whittling down this fort. Unaverted has to barrel roll just to be able to get into position quicker with that hammering. Be able to get and to clear out as well. I just can't believe this right now. Almost 7 minutes of objective phase has elapsed, and Legacy gets stalled out by Lutano with the flank. Godfill dumping damage into Unaverted. This is also a Wailing Arrow. Sylvanas, and she's going to be able to find the kill, popping that Wailing Arrow for a decent amount of damage as well. On top of the silence, FreePX going for the channel, but Lupus keeps popping their head out of that bush, showing and saying, "Ooh, do you want to get stunned out or stalled out?" And yes, it's going to get stalled out some more. Meanwhile, Sylvanas is running it down through top lane. Flyest Ravens considering engaging. In mid lane, we have J Shifts and Kier still 1v1ing. It happened. It finally happened at 10 minutes and 20-something seconds. We have the first objective of this game being channeled. We're 15 to 15, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I gotta have to clip that. That's insane. This is one for YouTube. This is one for YouTube, I gotta say. Just from that one part, like, that was so insane. Allstead flying in, does have the Gust available and gets the barrel roll set up from there. There's gonna be a massive shove onto Lutano. Big Divine Storm as well. Massive shove not synergizing well with that Divine Storm. Flyest Raven down over here. Uther will be able to finish out that Silver Touch from level 1. And now, at 11 minutes and 13 seconds, the second objective will spawn. Second objective of the game will spawn, what, 8 minutes later than the first one? 16 talent here for both sides. Legacy finds the root silence combo onto Lutano, but no follow-up is available between Unaverted and Lupus. So Legacy just trying to poke out here and there. FreePX maybe just getting poked at right now. Actually, Uther with a big stun. The reason I say it's big like that is because there was the lightning rod applied to FreePX, and we were kind of watching that sustained damage just from the W, really getting some value there. Ice Wall will connect onto 2. Uther harassing FreePX a little bit. Good Gust from Falstead will disengage the team fight, and it's going to be objective easily channeled by Flyest Raven. We don't have another 9-minute objective phase popping out on this map. It's going to be quickly channeled, and it'll be 1-to-1 when it comes to our tributes. Both teams needing 2 more, as it seems like the rotations will happen for camps at this time, needing some extra macro pressure. Trace are going to be pushing out the top lane, also trying to build up that pulse round bomb at 89% out of the 100 necessary. I also want to say this too, like, no boss plays have been had yet. I was a little surprised to see that objective phase went and no one went to boss, but here, apparently listening to stream, is going to start boss on their own on this Tracer with Legacy coming in, Flyest Raven to join as well. I would assume that with the positioning and the timer and all of that, our red team is going to be foregoing this objective phase. There's no way they can burn this down and get to objective. J Shifts is going to be scouting this out, but I think they actually popped through the bush for a hot second. So now J Shifts on that enhanced agility, not fully finished, so probably like 138% or something like that. I believe it goes up by like 2%. Yeah. So getting close to being able to have that 140%, but still able to just touch a bush and be able to zoom away on that Dahaka. And as I said, the objective did go over to the blue side. Pulse Bomb onto Lutano, Ice Wall out from FreePX, and Lutano lives for now. Decker Kane trying to get some potions out as well as that Lornado to force back the enemy team. Sylvanas free pushing bottom lane. Got Filth trying to get as much damage into this fort as possible with those haunting waves, with those black arrows locking down the structure. You'll see once that kind of arrow or that black glow around Sylvanas goes away, that means that trade is done. Being active as Sylvanas aggressively haunting waves into this enemy team, but doesn't use the second haunting wave. Has to pop the Will of the Forsaken to get that speed boost, and the self cleanse gets the Wailing Arrow out. Lupus getting very low, who dropped the Divine Shield, or the Divine Storm, but that set up a double kill for our red team. Falstead actually finding the kill onto May. And this is going to be a triple kill for the red side, and a boss still pushing through top lane in their favor. No curse potential, but that doesn't matter right now. This is a free second boss. Malthael still grabbing experience through mid, so let's go ahead and cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what the damage, experience, and healing is looking like in our game on Cursed Hollow. This is an absolute crazy back and forth right now. 6 to 9, nice in kills, as the Malthael will grab the camp from the right-hand side to just push up or even bolster the boss push through bottom lane. Unaverted going to be hanging out down here to actually catch this wave as well, help this boss push in further. 2-2 in objective phases. Next one will be popping up in the right-hand portion of the map, and it will be in favor positionally for our red team, as they are going to be, it'll be closer on their side of the map, so being able to disengage through either the lane or through this corridor into your well is a big factor to have, and availability, or big factor and tool to have in the upcoming team fight. Falstead flying in. What is his stacks at? 35% currently. Really building up that damage. 35%. Wow. In 15 minutes into the game, I don't think you'd have 35% if it was the old wingman. We were comparing in the last game, and I was saying that the stacks were a little bit lower, and I think that was also being denied by the enemy team, positionally and just in team fights. But here we're seeing that value from that dishonorable discharge at level 1 really starting to build up. And you also have some later talents that have helped out with that quite a bit. Some talents like level 7, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it increases the amount of charges that you fire up. The charged up, oh wow, very perfect of a name. But that charge up is really, really helpful. We do have the redemption for the Uther as well. So Uther is going to be able to respawn if it is off cooldown. No Divine Hurricane coming out, which I believe is cooldown reduction as well as a bigger AoE from the Divine Storm. I believe those are just the only two things. I don't think it's a duration of stun increase or anything like that. Just larger AoE and cooldown, but Malthael should be able to get the free channel onto this, which will give a curse to our red team, who does have 20 talent to your advantage. Big gust with the wind tunnel into the wall, coming out from Falstad, setting up anything for our red team, but the damage is not present. Falstad getting a little bit low. Legacy just lurking, arming to force back the enemy team, and this is a quick rotation from our red team into mid lane, trying to make as much work happen with their double global, or excuse me, with their global, as well as their curse availability. Seems like the priority is going to be through bottom lane, since the boss did push down through this lane and open things up a little bit further. It is also the, I think the most damage onto a front gate. Yeah, so this is going to be a hard rotation through bottom lane and a boss lane priority as well. Ooh, big root onto Lupus, who will go down. Keep in mind, redemption. You can see that golden swirl around the Uther's head as Free PX is getting very low. Last Rites is going to go off, but doesn't find the kill because of the Cryo Freeze level 20 talent tier upgrade from Free PX. That Flash Freeze is going to be able to keep them alive. Divine Storm will set up the kill onto the Dahaka. Weary Day getting locked into the corner will go down as well. Curse gonna end in the next 6 seconds, so our red team gonna make quick work of this keep through bottom lane. Falstad actually gonna get a hammering through mid to get some of those minions cleared out as well. Keep will go down, and this is looking like our red team wants to end the game here. Will Sylvanas, May, and Cassie be able to turn things around? We'll have to see. Let's pull away the talents and see. The gust comes out from Falstad. Will the Forsaken used by Gotfilth to be able to get, well, uncc'd essentially, and the 1v1 between Kier and Gotfilth will kind of pause for a second. The Stukov goes down, but that is not the biggest concern on the core. This is looking like game to be going over to our red team. The GGs are called, and the red team will continue their dominance today. GG, well played. All I can hear is, no! Here's the storm crashed. Well, sorry everybody. We can't look at the stats because Here's the Storm literally crashed. Pepe hands. Well, we can at least choose the winning team. The winning team was our red team.